Want to get over to Storm Tracker meteorologist Carson Meredith right now. We hear the rain on the roof. It has actively been raining all morning long.
It is steady rain, which makes me think there's definitely some water standing on those roads.
That water's not going anywhere. It may not necessarily get worse this morning, but as you look at the early warning radar network, with this more light, steady rain, it's going to keep the flooded water, or the flooded roadways, I should say, from receding. There is going to be issues on the morning commute. You just saw that view of 65 in Morgan County. There's going to be a lot of accidents, unfortunately, over the next couple of hours. Give yourself an extra 20 to 30 minutes heading to work and school. I am going to zoom in on Lawrence and Morgan counties once again. That's where we're tracking the heaviest rain for the moment. Had a few lightning bolts with this activity a little while ago. Not seeing that anymore, but this type of heavier rain is what could cause more flooding issues, not just for the morning drive, but as the day goes on in general. Wave 31 Skycam network obviously shows a messy picture. Roads are very wet. We still have some roads that are impassable, mainly those secondary roads. The major roads are just fine, but there will be ponding on those roads throughout the morning. Rain is not going anywhere all day. Temperatures this morning in the low 60s. We may climb a few degrees today, getting into the upper 60s, and we may see that rain wind down for a brief moment later this afternoon and this evening, but only for a brief moment. We are tracking yet another round of showers and storms this time tomorrow morning that could be severe once again. 7 a.m. to noon on Friday, we'll have a line of storms race across North Alabama. Within that line of storms, the main threat will be gusty straight line winds, 60, maybe 70 miles per hour. The tornado potential tomorrow morning, yes, it is there. It's rather low. It's not quite as high as what we saw with last night's severe weather. And because this will be a quick moving system tomorrow morning, we are not concerned about heavy rain or flooding. So once we get past this morning and today in general, our flooding threat will start to wind down. Until then, future radar shows a very wet picture all day. We're going to have some pockets of heavier rain that will keep the flooding concern in the forecast throughout the day. But you notice we'll dry things out for a moment later on this evening. Still some showers through the overnight hours, and as we get towards sunrise tomorrow morning, here comes that line of storms in northwest Alabama. It's around 7, 8 a.m. Look how quickly this line moves through, and you notice it doesn't look particularly impressive on future radar. These could be gusty showers, maybe not storms, but they could still produce 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. By noon tomorrow, though, the cold front's moving off to our east, and we will finally dry things out and that active weather pattern comes to an end. But even outside of those storms tomorrow, it is going to be incredibly windy. Wind advisory starts at midnight tonight, goes until 9 o'clock tomorrow night for those wind gusts as high as 45, maybe 50 miles per hour outside of thunderstorms. That kind of wind with the wet ground that we're dealing with today and tomorrow could cause some trees to go down and maybe a few power outages as well as we go through the entire day on Friday. So a couple more active days, obviously. Stay with us here on all of our platforms, on air, online at wavetv.com, and on the Wave 31 Storm Tracker weather app. The light at the end of the tunnel this weekend. Sunshine, highs in the 60s to near 70.